Welcome to what I hope will be a short announcement video for tomorrow. Basically, I better put down some times. There's going to be a live stream. It's going to be basically a pre-launch live stream of Dominion 6. Like BattleMode, LucidTactics and myself will be playing a Disciples game. We were sort of all playing on the one side. We're going to be able to at least then look at each other's battles and sort of talk about different things. It should be a fairly relaxed time, and if you've got questions, please come along. The times essentially will be, if you're using GMT, like the sort of standard time zone or universal time, you're looking at 10 p.m. GMT on the 16th, I think. I'm getting my dates wrong. The other ones that I do know of, in New York, it will, or on Eastern Time US, it's going to be 5 p.m. on the 16th. And if you're in Australia, if you're in Sydney, I'm guessing it's going to be about 9 a.m. 9 a.m. on the 17th. So that's the other sort of time frames that I'm aware of. But if you sort of work from the GMT 10 p.m., that's when we're all planning on going live. We're going to be going live on our own channels, so you get the different perspectives from the different, as we're sort of playing our own factions. Let's go in and actually just generate what's going to happen with this particular one. So if we just go into Create World, I'll just go through the different factions that we're all playing. So I'll just click on this one. This will be just test. And click on OK. I'll see if I can get what Lucid had set up, because Lucid had sort of set up a pretty interesting start. So I'll just keep it. I'll make all of these human, these three, and we'll make this into a Disciples game. So this is essentially what's going to happen. All right. So this is going to be the setup. Now, it's been a long, long time since I've actually played a Disciples game, but what ends up happening here is that you end up with one player being the pretender god, and then you have whoever else you want to have on your side. So you set up a team, then you set up your disciples. So these have got restrictions on them because the pretender god sets up all of the different paths and all those sorts of things. So it's actually the scales and it's more the scales actually, and the bless strategies is what the pretender god brings in, and then the others just make use of whatever that actually is. And so what's going to happen through here is LucidTactics is going to set up the pretender god. He's going to be playing as Marinong Fiery Justice, which I'll just show you what these actually are if we go and click on them. So Marinong Fiery Justice is essentially sort of based around like a middle-aged or mid-medieval French sort of area. So this is sort of like this is really what we've got going in through here. He's got a couple of sacred mounts. We wanted to get things where we actually had mounts that would be fun to use, and so we've chosen factions with the mounts because we now actually have the knights, and in this case the destriers, that come in with different sort of aspects to them. So this would be the way that he would then be playing. So this would be his sacred. I don't know if he's got any other sacred. So there's a sacred there. He may use those. I'm not sure. That one's not sacred, but he's essentially got these Knights of the Chalice, so that will be the ones that he will then be using. The reason we went with this one as a pretender was because there's +3 bless points with Marinong, so they're an ideal pretender god, and that was sort of like the thought process behind going that way. Just click on OK, which then allows Lucid to basically then sort of set things up, in interesting ways. So that's him. Now for the next one, we've got Bandar Log. This is what BattleMode will be playing. And so BattleMode sacreds are pretty much these Tiger Riders in through here, which are again fairly interesting. These have only got a falcon. They don't actually have a lance. So when they attack, they only attack with a length one weapon. And then they've got the armored sacred tiger, the Tig, in through this other side, so it's the bite and a claw, and so that's going to be their sacreds. Smart mount. This one here will eventually go back home again after if the rider gets killed. The riders are always smart, so they'll always try to get back home as well. So that's what they have in through there. I won't spend too much time going through that one, but that's what his mount will be. In the one that I'll be playing with Machaca, which I've never really played. I've played with it once or twice, I think, just to sort of fiddle about with it. But this is actually interesting, and really the big sacred that I have is a monstrously big size 9 Black Hunter. And so we've got the Black Hunter in through here with a lance and a falcon as well, sort of doing the damage in through this other side. We do have high encumbrance. This will be the negative of this particular unit. So we're going to get tired quickly. That's actually just having a look at what we're doing. So I'm going to have to try to mitigate that. I've got a thought process of how I might do that one. There's a few different things I can do to sort of try to get around the encumbrance. Encumbrance then adds to the fatigue, so the more he's in the fight, the longer that's going to go. The hunter spider has much lower encumbrance in through here. It just has venomous fangs and also does shoot a web. And so the web can be negated by large and strong beings. It's pretty much just, it costs 1 fatigue to fire the web. And so once the fatigue goes over 50, it will no longer be able to use that particular weapon. Now, one thing we don't know is if the bless strategy is going to work on the web. We think it will work well, we know it will work on the venomous fangs. This is a sacred unit. But the web, I would assume the web is more like a ranged attack. So I'm not sure. In fact, it's a special attack. We won't know until we actually see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, that's the that will be the main sort of, I guess, the main summonable, or well, not summonable, but the main recruitable that I'll actually be then playing with. Other things we have in through here. I'm just trying to see if we've got enough. If we've got any simple. We've got a few that like I'm just having a quick look through here. I should have done this before to see if we actually have any that have got. Earth magic, a bit of glamour, nothing there, nothing there. Actually, that was the one I just had a look at, I think. Potentially 1 earth there, but very, very unlikely. Nothing in that one. That's an assassin with a bit of glamour. This one here does have 1 earth with the potential to get more. Okay, that should be enough. And in fact, Lucid had mentioned that this one actually does also summons monsters like little spiders all the time, and that can be really quite substantial. So I only need 1 earth just to get reinvigoration. So reinvigoration is basically tied to the earth area. We also have this one here, which I'll probably avoid a little bit. This one actually is it causes unrest, so I'd have to be careful. Actually, maybe I could still get around it. Here, shape changes into a great spider. That's not bad. That wouldn't be bad actually at all. The great spider, we don't actually see those in here. So there, yeah, that one's actually not bad. That one is not bad. It's a heretic, yeah. So this one, this unit will lead people away from the true faith and lowest dominion in the province. A value of 5 guarantees removal of 1 point of dominion. Yeah, okay. So this is we've got to have to be careful of this one. We won't be able to have too many of those. This one's not sacred either, by the way. Then we've got this one through here, which actually does have the others as well. Fairly cheap. It comes in old, so yeah, I can get around my my earth, so I don't need to actually go and get something with earth. And the reason for that is that if I just click on OK, and I'll just go back to choose marinong. So they're the 3 that are coming in. So I'll try to set up the Pretender God. I don't know exactly what battle mode is going to be going with, but I sort of know a little bit, I think. So we'll see how we go. So anyway, with marinong, just click on OK. So this one then sets up, now select the physical form, he's going for this Baphomet in through this other side, which is reduced by 20 for the nation. Now, what did he set up? Yeah, what he did, I've actually got a cheat sheet next to me. So he set this one up to 7. He has gone for one into turmoil there. 2, so we get the actual resources up that way. 2 heat, which sort of suits all of us, I think. We've got 0 growth. He went for 2 into the misfortune and 2 drain. So we've got sort of a bit more drain in through there. And he went for the dormant. So this one's going to go dormant, which leaves him with a lot of points to then go and start to spend. And he went with 5 of these. He went with 5 of this and 5 of that. So we broke into death, and 3 glamour. And he went with 8 of this. That's left 12 points. Okay, so that's what we got. So we got 5 fire, 5 astral, 5 death, 3 glamour, and then 8 blood magic. And it was incredible watching him do it. He just was basically sort of ripping around, tweaking little bits and pieces to figure out what to do, which then gives us 24 different bless points. So we get heaps of bless points. The crux of it is going to be vampiric weapons. Let's just talk a little bit about this one. So attacks from blessed units will drain the life force from living creatures. Those wounded will take an additional damage that is added to the blessed one's hit points. So you can actually sort of go through even You can go even get higher hit points, even if you're not injured. But there's a bit of a rub with this. If you kill the unit as you do it, you don't get the vampiric weapons. They have to still be alive, and so it only works while the unit is alive. Actually, I watched Lucid's video on actually when he set this one up, and it's worth watching actually because he does talk about he thinks it's a bit overpowered because of this aspect, where it's like if you kill them, you get nothing. So it's a bit of a rub. Essentially coming back in. So vampiric weapons was the first one. This is really what everything's structured around, is how we can make best use of that. And so with that one again, with the, at the bless effects, vampiric weapons down through there. So we have to try to wound without actually killing, if we can do it with the blessed unit. So that's going to be a bit interesting to see how that one does go. Now, unfortunately, Lucid's not going to be able to muck around with too much with having a super combatant to be able to then go into the actual battle map itself. So it'll be more that BattleMode and I will actually be able to choose monsters to actually have in our fighting force. But that will be a big thing. Will be to try to make sure that they actually do damage without getting too many kills. We don't want anything that's too powerful. For what we actually end up going in with. That's, I think, would be the strategy with that one. He also went with a few others, little few in through here as well. So we've got some. He went with strength of the flesh. So blessed units will receive increased strength for +1. Now this isn't going to probably affect so much myself. It shouldn't also really. It probably won't affect all of us that much, but it's just one extra strength, which means a little bit more damage. But again, we don't really want too much damage, but that is going to be going into there. What we want to make sure is we get the 2 hits, and so he then is using the fire to break into other areas there. So he's gone in with 3 attack skills, so in through the side. So blessed units will get the increased +1 to the attack, and so that then you can add these over the top of each other, and so that's 2, and then that's 3. So we've still got 4 blessed points left over. But what this one does is it gives us +3 attack, which means that our 2 hit is now suddenly a lot better than what it was before. And then finally, the last one that he wanted to add in, which is why he got the glamour, the 3 glamour, was to bring in heroism, which is essentially just a one blessed point aspect. But what it does do is it adds 50% more experience. And we've got a few of these that we can add in. So let's go down to them again. So heroism. And again, just that's 150%. So we're going to be getting the blessable units, the sacred units will actually now get 200% more experience out of combat. So they're going to really get up the experience very, very quickly, which will then give them even more attack skills and also better defense, etc., etc. So that's what he has done. So that's all okay. We'll just click on OK in through there, and this will be Lucid. So that's actually what he'll have. And now for BattleMode is going to go with which one was he going with? The Golden Lion, I think. Again, what this one does is gives you it gives you manageable aspects in through here where the attack skill is high. The defense skill is okay, protection is okay, a lot of hit points, and so, but he's got like lots of different attacks, and so with vampiric weapons, as long as he's not killing the creatures that he's attacking with the bites and claws, he should then be able to pick up a lot of extra hit points just from the vampiric weapon. So that's the strategy for BattleMode. So we'll just go and click on that one through there. I'm not sure what he's actually put into this one, so I'll just throw fire in for now. I'm not sure which way he's going, so that'll be okay. He's probably sort of already thought through how he's going to then use nature as an example. All right, so that is BattleMode. All right, and then for me, I'm playing as Machaka. As I say, we've got a few interesting units back in through here. The Hunter Spider is going to be the main thing that we go with. We do actually have some Lance and Falcon aspects in through here. The attack skill starts off at 12, but we're going to get then another +3 on top of that one. In fact, then as we get experience, that will keep on going up as well. Our protection is extremely high, so we've got very, very high protection. And even the Hunter Spider got reasonable hit points, reasonable protection. Defense skill not great, but attack skill is good with the Venomous Fangs. We do have the web, which we don't know if this will actually get the vampiric weapons or not. So that will be interesting to see if that one does or not. So that hopefully it does, but I don't know if it will. I'm guessing not. Anyway, that's going to be the backbone of what we actually play with. And to make more use of this one, I just had to find a form that was going to give me many different hits that I can actually then go for. So I had a few to choose from. You can see there that's the golden line there again from that BattleMode had chosen. Again, it's a good choice. Would have been a good choice for me as well, I guess, in one sense. We have a few more in these beasts than and also in the humanoids than what BattleMode actually had. Now I would be wanting to go with a super combatant. So I'm sort of stuck with the top ones. It's a matter of just going through who's got the most attacks. And what does it actually sort of give us? So this man-eater, for example, is actually not bad. Stinger, claw, and then flick barbs. The problem here is it's a population killer, so I don't really want to have that. We do have 0 growth, like as in it will grow, but this could be a problem. So that's certainly a possibility, though. It's also a flying unit, which does allow me to go in and do all sorts of things. So having a flying unit is actually an advantage, I think, in the game. Now the fatigue, the encumbrance is low actually, which is actually pretty cool. Fear of 10, which is fairly high. So this will get factions running. The trouble with this is that they're likely to get killed at some point. So all of these are, to be honest. So I'm sure there'll be a time that when we're playing that either BattleMode or myself will end up sort of falling on our swords as we're sort of attacking something. This one here is also flying units, just bite, claw, but this one doesn't have the negative of killing the population. Bite, claw, or beak, claw in through there. I don't think that BattleMode had these sort of options, just 2 claws in for the Sphinx, which is not enough. We want to be getting a lot of hit points. Some of these, like this, for example, has got pincers, stingers, and a fist as well. And so this one sort of comes in with not very many hit points, and that would be the negative with this one through here. Good protection, good attack, poor defense. So it would be hit a lot. It is ambidextrous. So that would be the reason I probably wouldn't want to be going that one through there. We have a couple that have only just got 1 attack, and so that's not really going to do us any good. So I'm thinking, as we sort of come back through, we've got a few more in through this other side as well, where this one's flying. Again, it's pretty reasonable with the head button and the claws. Good hit points. Back up through that side. The hit points will be important for these. Then we actually have the Hierosophix, however you pronounce that. We've got this one here, which is interesting because it's got 4 attacks, but this is also a population killer. And so these tend to have this problem, which is not great. Then we've got a god spider, but it's only got really the 1 attack plus the webs, and we don't know if the webs will be magical or not. So that would be a thematic one to go with. I've got a few to choose from, and the Earth Serpent. I'm actually liking the Dracolic. What it does is it gives me 3 attacks in through here, 2 magical, reasonable damage in through that side, good hit points. Does fear 15, like dramatic fear. Can also go back and shape change into a master lick. So I end up with I end up with essentially 2 different types of units. If I need to be back doing research, whatever I need to do, I'm going to be able to do it with the master lick. And so this is, for me, I think I'm going to play as a Dracolic. So I think this would be a good one for us to go with. It's also flying. It's got snow move, spirit sight. So it's spirit sight makes it possible to see into the spirit realm and see the true essence of beings, which is good. So glamour is not going to be very effective against this one. It's undead, so it doesn't actually eat anything. They need not eat. Cold resistant. Not that that matters that much. Invulnerable. So this one, an invulnerable unit is very hard to damage with non-magical weapons, and will have this amount of natural protection against mundane attacks. I mean, this is crazy good for what we want. Pierce resistant as well. So makes it, because it's made out of skeletal, it's just skeletons. So it does well there. But the Fear 15 is massive. Also, it's a poor amphibian. And so I can actually go in into the water with this one. And actually, if we need to sort of be clearing out water, I'm going to be able to do it with this one as well. So for me, this one sort of ticks more boxes than the others. It's not a population killer either. So I think this one's the one. So I think we'll just go back in and grab the Dracolic. There was another one. I was interested in this one as well, this dragon, because of what it does. I almost was thinking of getting this one. It's Fear 10, does change into an Archmage. But this one I think wins it just on those other aspects. This one doesn't have the same sort of levels of protection. 125 hit points. The Dracolic is just a nastier thing. So it's sort of, so I think we'll go Dracolic. So that's where we are. Now, as far as the points, really I'm just going to bump up the death points until we run out, basically. So I'll get -4 there, unfortunately. 80 points to get into a new area. Without really thinking about it too much, if I go with death, if I just quickly go to the spells and have a quick look at a few of the other ones, if we went with death spells, we get the corpse candle in through there, then we're not going to get to 4, so nothing in through that side. I'm just having a look to see what spells we get. Stygian Skin, almost impervious to physical damage. Only living beings are affected by the spell, so that's not going to affect us. So that doesn't work. Nothing else through there. Evocation, nothing much in there, to be honest. Stygian Rains, yep, only living creatures again, which is not going to help us. Also it costs gems as well. Enchantment. Now, Twice Born. I mean, this is just an easy one anyway to get. Doesn't affect demons or undead, so that's not going to help us. Yeah, there's not really much. We got Reanimate Archers. Enchants 10 well-prepared corpses and give them false life. The skeletons are then equipped with magical bows. So maybe Fire. That just gives us a little bit extra to play with as we sort of go into different things. Foul Air. The air will become polluted by a deadly disease. This is a super combatant, by the way, so we're going to be able to just use this in normal fights. Anyone who is wounded will instantly become diseased due to the foul air. This enchantment affects all land provinces in the entire world. Well, we don't want that. We don't want that. So I'm thinking we just go back to Fire. So let's go and exit out of that one and just go and break into Fire. And we've still got 20 points, and so I can get 2 points in Fire, 7 points in Death. That, for me, works out pretty well. So we are done, and so this is going to be, oh hang on, let's just go cancel. If I save this, oh damn it, it's gone back out again. This always happens. So 7 for this one, and 2 for that one, and Control S. So we're just going to save this particular one, and so this will be just Dazolic. There we go. So Dazolic will be the name, and so this is only for a Disciples game. You have to play a Disciples game to save these. So that one's done. Okay, and so that basically is where we are. Don't need to worry about that at all. But that's essentially how the game is then going to be played out. So that, I hope, will be fun for everyone. Now, a few other little bits of things. If you've been following my Discord at all, you'll know that my Twitch has now been hacked. I don't know when I'm going to get it back, but it has been suspended. I have got access to it, so it shouldn't take too long, I hope. I just hope we don't end up with another Discord fiasco where it takes like 6 weeks to bring it back. So in the meantime, I'll be streaming mainly here on YouTube because I can't do anything with anything else. So anyway, that's sort of beside the way, but that's yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving. These hackers, they've been an absolute pain in the ass, and unfortunately, I forgot to change the password. I put 2-factor authentication on everything, but I didn't change the password, unfortunately, of my Twitch account, and so they've broken into there. So anyway, that's where we are with everything. Also, I didn't do a chat tactic today at time of recording, and so I'm thinking that this particular stream that we do will be essentially like my chat tactic for the week. sort of. I was going to do a chat tactic that centered around this game anyway this week, because this is really the biggest game of the week for me. There's a few other things that have come out this week as well, but so I would have done a chat tactic. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not sure. I could certainly do it earlier if we do it. Maybe just make it a short one. I'll see how I go. Anyway, if I'm going to do it, I'll just start streaming, and if you're around, you're around. If you're not, you're not. Thanks for watching, guys. And as I say, we'll be the three of us will be live streaming. We'll be talking with each other. That will be the other thing. So we will actually be communicating with each other as well as we play. We'll also be doing something where we have a push to talk when we're talking between ourselves, but we'll then be talking with you guys as well privately with what we're doing. But it's a disciples game. We're all on the same side. We'll get to see each other's battles. I'm expecting that either I would love to have a bet as to, is it going to be me or BattleMode who loses their pretender first? I actually think it'll be BattleMode, and I'm thinking that because I think his guy's got less hit points than mine. That's the only reason. That is the only reason. Anyway, I'm going to my money is on BattleMode losing his before I do. But let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around.